It's live.
Mine says off air, but it's cool. It's good. It's good. Um, there it is. Just queued up live. Now I feel better.
All right.
Felt like when you, not that I watch the news, but when you watch the news and the dude in the office is like, "And to you, Zach," and there's like a 5 second like where the guy's like, "Yeah," for a second. It was cool. So yeah, man, it's been about a month since the last episode, I think, right?
About that, yeah.
Cool. Well, in that month, I haven't done anything, so I had to like rush to put stuff together for this episode. But I've come up with something that's maybe just as fun, if not more fun, than the game, the trivia game, because we're going to talk about movies this episode. Do you want to jump right into the top 5 that I just put together 15 minutes ago?
If you want, yeah.
Let's do it, man. I'm just going to preface by saying that I struggled to come up with 5. Well, all right, hold on. So the topic is top 5 Netflix originals, which was hard, original movies, because I got to 4, and then I like had to find a list for like, the movies to find a 5th one.
Same here.
So one of mine is like kind of being phoned in because I saw it when it came out. I don't remember it that well, but I was like, yeah, it's good. But yeah, so top 5 Netflix original movies from any time, any genre, just as long as they were Netflix exclusive, if you will. What is your number 5?
Number 5 is Shimmer Lake.
I haven't seen it.
No. It's it has Rainn Wilson in it. It's basically like small town, murder happens, people trying to cover it up.
Wasn't he on a TV show that also had that premise?
Probably.
It was like, it was, dude, I remember it. Like all the trailers were like, he like had like a trench coat on with like a hood, and there was like something spooky happening in this like town, and they like called him in, and he was like either like a cop or like a private investigator or something, and he like had to figure it out. I think it lasted like maybe a season, maybe.
Well, I haven't heard of it, so probably.
Just like I had not seen Shimmer Lake, so between the two of us, we've seen the same thing. All right, number 5, Shimmer Lake, which I probably will never watch. My number 5 is a movie called The Polka King.
All right, I haven't seen that yet.
So similar to Shimmer Lake, stars Jack Black. Black and Rainn Wilson are the same person. It's like a highly fictionalized version of something that really happened about this dude who was like into polka and was like the Polka King, and he like scammed a ton of people out of money, like millions of dollars worth of money. And the movie is super funny, but then at the end, you don't hate this guy because like he was kind of an asshole, but you also like, oh, but polka is like everyone's so happy. But at the end of the movie, they like wrap it up and like everyone's like, yeah, that was great. And they don't even acknowledge that there's like hundreds of people that like lost their life savings. Like, so like you leave the movie feeling really happy, but then you start to think about it and you're like, there are people that probably died on the street because they lost all of their money to this guy. That's not talked about at all. It's worth watching. It's as dumb as it sounds, but it is interesting.
It's in my list.
I got bored one night. I was like looking for a comedy, which is surprisingly hard to find on Netflix if you're looking for something that you haven't seen or that isn't stand-up comedy. And I was like, it's like an hour and 30 minutes, which is my tolerance for bad movies. And I was like, I'll just watch it. I laughed a couple times afterwards. I was like, wow, that was bad. But everyone should watch The Polka King. And there's also the documentary it's based on is on Netflix, and it's much better. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is The Meyerowitz Stories, which was also on my top movies of last year list.
Yeah. I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's I put it on my list, and then I took it off my list, and then I put it back on my list, and then I looked at the links, and I took it back off my list. I was like, it's fine. Someone will tell me about it eventually. I just like I want to like all the things that Adam Sandler does now, especially for all the Netflix stuff he does. But it's just like I think I'm over it. I think his career is done. In my like for me, he's done.
Yeah, especially with the Netflix deal.
Yeah, where they're just like paying him millions of dollars to just like phone in. Like he could like I'm pretty sure South Park did a joke where it was like it was either Rob Schneider or Adam Sandler, like being able to like call up and just like give them any stupid premise. Yeah, dude, it's the Awesemo episode.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and they're like, well, Adam Sandler does it, and so it's yeah, like just like whatever dumb premise. And in this, it's like everything that Adam Sandler does. He's like, so I want to be a crossing guard who watches a dog get hit, and then I become a John Wick style thriller. It's like, all right, here's your $1 million. We'll see you in 6 months, and they'd make it, and it would be awful. But whatever. So number 4, which I have not seen, my number 4 is Beasts of No Nation, which was this crazy like action, not action, but like thriller action movie about this like small town, like it's like run over by like insurgents and like war tearing it apart and stuff. All that matters is that it stars Idris Elba or Idris Elba, however you want to say it. It's pretty good, but it's like I watched it once when it came out, so I don't really remember it that well. And that was the one I put on my list because I didn't know what else to put. I was like, yeah, it was a good movie.
It's also in my list.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it number 3?
Oh, I meant like my Netflix list. It's not on.
Like on the list. I was like, oh wow. So I didn't think our lists would overlap at all. Could be wrong. So that was my 4. What's your number 3?
Number 3 is The Babysitter.
In my list. I've not seen it. Is it any good?
It's all right. It came out like the same time as Better Watch Out, which I talked about before. It's basically kind of the same premise, a little home invasion type slasher.
I just know that it has the dude actually. So it has a dude that's on my list. His name's Andrew Batchelor. He's the dude that used to be like the Vine star.
Oh yeah.
And now he's just like popping up in like weird roles in like people's movies because he was like the most popular dude on Vine, and they like transitioned into like YouTube or whatever. Now he's transitioning into movies, which is crazy when you think about it. But yeah, it's been on my list, but it just like looked like something that it's like I'm gonna watch this and I'm just gonna be like afterwards and never look at it again.
Yeah.
And it's also like I think it's almost 2 hours long, which is
probably
like, my tolerance for movies I know that aren't going to be great is about 90 to 100 minutes. Any more than that, I'm like I could have watched something else.
Yeah,
but I'll watch it eventually. I've been clearing a lot of movies lately, just not that one. So that was yours. Number 3 for me was the Cloverfield Paradox, which I also want to talk about later.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we could get into this whole thing, but if you take it as just a standalone movie, I actually think it's really good. If you put it in the Cloverfield universe, it's like a little less good because it doesn't tie up as neatly as they would have liked.
Yeah.
And the reason why is my understanding is that originally it was a movie called The God Particle, which was a separate standalone movie. And then after that movie started production or after that movie was finished shooting, they decided they wanted to bring it in specifically to the Cloverfield universe. So they reshot a handful of scenes that would like make those small connections. But like 99% of the movie doesn't have anything to do with Cloverfield.
Yeah.
But I still liked it a lot. And like that cast was really good. The movie was good. And considering what it was, the sci-fi, like outer space special effects wasn't that bad. I've seen a lot of movies that looked worse, like on the channel. But yeah, for like a Netflix exclusive thing, I liked it a lot. So what was your number 2?
My number 2 is Bright.
Do you think they're going to make the sequel?
Yeah, I think it's already been announced.
Dude, I feel like Will Smith and Adam Sandler are walking the same line. Like, where he pretty much just like I feel like he doesn't really do anything anymore. Like people, like somebody probably approaches him and is like, "Hey, you should do this movie," and he's like, "Yeah, man, it's a paycheck. Like, I don't. What do I have to lose at this point?"
Yeah.
Not that that's bad, but he's earned it. I mean, he's made like 100 movies. You can do whatever you want at that point. But do you think the second one will be Netflix exclusive, or do you think they'll do a theatrical? Because the first one was pretty popular.
Probably Netflix. I don't think it was that popular to get theatrical, but
I don't know, man. A lot of movies get theatrical runs. So
a lot of people talk shit about that movie too, which I don't get.
I've heard a lot of mixed like reviews, and a lot of people that were like, this one thing that I've heard, I don't know if there's any validity to it, but somebody was like, well, in the movie, Will Smith being a black actor was the white cop and the orc was the black guy. I was like, fam, Will Smith is black. He's not like playing a white cop. Like, and the orcs aren't like I don't know, dude, like, because like somebody was like, well, the orcs are like a representation of, or like whatever, the magical creatures are a representation of like black Americans in the society that we have now. I'm like, well, black Americans exist in that society. So it's like, what like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But I think if you probably just take it as like not a metaphor for the current American like thought or process or whatever, it's probably much better that way.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I don't care.
You were just like, well, there's fucking magical creatures, so I'm in.
Yeah.
It's like motherfuckers just disappearing and shit. I'm in. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm sure the second one will probably be, I don't know. Netflix announced that they're like doing like another 100 movies this year and like whatever, but then they also said they're going to stop spending so much money on movies. I don't know, man. Netflix is just doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
I mean, they pretty much command the film market at this point. Like, there's actually, I wanted to put this on my list, but I couldn't. Annihilation, which is out in theaters here, is being distributed by Netflix everywhere else in the world next week.
Huh.
So, like, we'll be the only country that won't have the movie on Netflix. And so it's like Netflix is to the point where they're doing distribution for movies that were like in theaters for us, which is crazy. Which is why it's not on my list. If it was here on Netflix, maybe I would have, but
I know there's like a widget thing on like Google Chrome. You can change your region.
Yeah. That's too much work for me. I'll just torrent it. Or like go to like the movie sites that are like movies.io or like watchfilms.cc, and I'm like, I don't know where the fuck these domains are from, but I can watch The Last Jedi, so I don't care. You probably like, you go visit them, dude, and like some Nigerian scammers like just fucking stealing all of my information. I'm like, that's fine. You can have my tax return because I'm not paying for Last Jedi. At least not yet.
Yeah.
Let's go. God. So that was 2, right? Your number 2?
Yeah.
So my number 2, very recent release, liked it a lot, was When We First Met. With, I always want to say Adam DeMant, but Adam Devine.
Yeah.
From Workaholics. Super predictable. Also starred Andrew Bachelor, the dude from Vine. Did you get a chance to watch that one yet?
I haven't.
So it's good. It's actually better than I thought it would be. Like I said, it's super predictable, but it's super funny. It's short. And it is basically a rip on Groundhog's Day, just skewed in a different direction. But there's like a million movies that have done like the looping singular day thing.
There seems to have been a lot of that last year.
Dude, I mean, it's not a novel concept, but if you do it right, it's really good. The example I use would be Source Code was fucking awesome. Do you remember that with Jake Gyllenhaal, where he's like on the train?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Source Code?
No.
Oh, God. Dude, it's so good. It's, what the fuck? It's so good. It's been around for a long time. It's like, I'm not going to explain the movie to you, but it's literally Groundhog's Day with a military setting, and it's really fucking good. So you should watch it. good luck finding it, because after watching this movie, I was like, I really want to watch Source Code now. Where I was like looking for torrents and it was like DVD rips. I'm like, this is like 2018. I'm not watching a fucking DVD anymore. It was like 4K or nothing. But when we first met, it's for sure worth watching. And it got me super amped up for Game Over Man, which comes out this month.
Oh yeah.
The Workaholics guy. It's Workaholics being transplanted into a spy movie, which looks dope. Will also be a Netflix exclusive. I could put that on my list. But all right, so top 5, number 1. What's your number 1 Netflix original movie?
Number 1 is The Ritual.
Hey, so is mine. Dude, when it popped up, I watched it within like the first couple days, and I immediately was like, Zach has to watch this movie.
I watched it like immediately after you texted me to watch it.
Dude, it was unique in that I didn't see some things coming, for what it was, being like a Netflix fucking distributed horror movie or thriller. Quality was incredible. The acting was pretty good. I really like Rafe Spall.
Yeah.
Who, like I said, previous to that movie, the only thing that I consciously knew him from was from Hot Fuzz like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But then I started looking at his IMDb and I was like, this dude's been in a ton of stuff that I've seen. That movie was tight. And it was, it was a little scary too. Like, but I think the end where like, because the whole movie, it was like Cloverfield. The whole movie, I was like, are you ever going to see this fucking thing that's in the woods? Like, are you ever going to see it? And you get to the very last moment, and you're like, I'm not going to see it. Everyone's going to die, and I'm not going to get to see it.
Yeah.
And then, boom, they take it from like a 5 to like a 10 in like the last 15 minutes. And I was like, I want to talk about it more, but I feel bad if there's anyone that listens to this anymore, and 2, and if they do listen to it and they haven't seen The Ritual. But dude, when the monster comes out of the trees and shit and they're talking to it, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I was picturing something completely different the whole rest of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was and especially because it was like dudes were like getting like ripped out of their tents and shit, and like I was like, it's some sort of like fucking hybrid like gazelle with like laser eyes and like fucking knives for feet. And then you get this like giant lumbering shit from like a fucking Japanese, like an anime or something. I was like, oh yeah, cool. But it was good, man. It was definitely good. I wish they would do more stuff like that. That's like not like a movie like When We First Met probably cost them like $15 to make. The same shit every day. And then you have The Ritual, which is like, on set locations, a lot of CGI action, but it was tight, and it's definitely one of the best like horror movies I've seen in the last couple of years, let alone Netflix specific.
Yeah.
So that caps out the top 5 with The Ritual, which I actually thought would be your number 1 as well, because it is crazy good. But since we're talking about movies, do you know how many good movies are coming out this month? There's a ton. I actually, what I did is right before we started, I went through a list. I was just wanting to see like what movies were coming out in between now and Avengers. And in March specifically, dude, we're getting Pacific Rim, which I'm really excited about. We're getting Isle of Dogs.
Oh yeah.
We're getting Ready Player One, which is looking like it's going to be pretty cool. You get the Tomb Raider movie, which comes out in like a week. What else? I wrote a whole list down, dude. Most importantly, we're getting a movie called Party Bus from Hell. It's starring... Okay, so first off, Party Bus from Hell. It's a movie, a bus full of people going to Burning Man. They get into the desert. They run into a satanic cult. I'm already interested. Stars Tara Reid, which nobody has thought about from the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And then also stars a woman named Sadie Katz, who is in classics such as Blood Feast, Grindsploitation, All American Christmas Carol, And my personal favorite, Wrong Turn 6. Like, how the fuck do you get to number 6 on the Wrong Turn series?
I don't know. I have like 2, 4, and 6 on DVD. I haven't even watched any of them yet.
Dude, I've seen 1 and 2, and I was like, well, they're done with this. Browsing through Netflix, I was like, wow, they're up to 6. How many times can you make a wrong turn? Dude, I don't even know, but I just thought it was funny. I was like going through the list of people in that movie, and I was like, I don't know any of these people. So I clicked on the second person. It's like, wow, I was like, she's been in a lot of really bad movies. Holy shit. Like if someone approached me, like let's say I wrote a screenplay and everyone like loved it, and they were like, Chris, like we'd love for you to do a treatment on another screenplay, and I'd be like, oh, what is it? They're like, well, it's Wrong Turn 7. I'd be like, I gotta go home. Like I'm like Hollywood. I'm like, I gotta go back to Boston, guys. I'm done here. It would be like people drive in car, see a sign that says, "Don't take this turn," and instead of taking the turn, they'd be like, "Oh fuck, we should just turn around and go back."
Wrong Turn 7, right turn.
Yeah, dude. It's like 5 minutes long. The guy sees the sign. He's like, "That looks sketchy. I gotta go." Just leaves. Holy shit. More importantly than anything is that Infinity War Avengers, dude, it got moved up 2 weeks. It comes out in April now, which is also really important because previously it was going to come out on May 4th, which is like a really terrible time for a movie to come out. Is it Star Wars Day? There's like other stuff popping off on May 4th. So yep. I was like, I really need to see Avengers the first day though. So now it comes out on like April 27th. Thank God. And speaking of Avengers, I have a couple Avengers related picks that I want to put out there in the open before this movie comes out, because when it happens, I want my check for Marvel. I think 4 people are going to die in this movie. People have to die. There's like 85 characters, whatever. Yeah. But I've got 4 picks that I can guarantee will die before the end of the second Avengers Infinity War movie, whatever they're going to call it. And I've got 2 obvious picks and 2 non-obvious picks. But I want to get your feedback. Like, if you had to choose people to kill in an Avengers movie where there's 86 characters, like, who do you kill? Like what characters do you think they can just like shuffle away and like never think about ever again? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
First 2 that come to mind are Captain America and Iron Man.
I mean, there's a theory about that because they both have replacements in the comics.
Exactly, yeah.
So, and I think at this point they've both said that their contracts are up after this movie, or like after the next movie or whatever. So it's possible. I would be surprised, but it's possible. If you had to choose one though, like, so if you had to choose between Iron Man dying or Cap dying, who do you pick?
Probably Iron Man.
It's because his movie sucked. 2 was okay, 3 was terrible.
And every other Marvel movie now is featuring Iron Man.
Yeah. I like to think that, actually, when you think about the trilogies in the Marvel universe, so you have Iron Man, Thor, Cap. Iron Man has like this weird trajectory where the first one is arguably the best one. I mean, it fucking kickstarts the entire Marvel universe as we know it now. The second one is tolerable, but the third one is like really, really bad. And then you look at Cap and Thor, and it works the other way around, where I think you could argue that Thor 1 is good, Thor 2 is really bad, and Thor 3 is one of the best Marvel movies ever made. And Cap 1 is like good, 2 is like one of the best movies, not just Marvel, but like one of my favorite movies of all time. And then 3 is pretty good. I remember when we saw Winter Soldier in theaters, dude. We came back and recorded after that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think we talked for like 2 hours about Winter Soldier. I've just been rewatching all of the Marvel movies in anticipation of Avengers. So I just like been thinking about this list because you can't. I don't think you can introduce a character like Thanos and then not kill someone.
Yeah.
So my 4 picks for guaranteed to be dead. And like I said, if this is right, Marvel needs to hire me because I could have wrote these deaths. I'm saying they kill War Machine. They kill Rhodey. Dude is basically not existed for the last like 18 movies.
Yeah.
Or like in Civil War where they paralyze him and they instantly were like, just kidding, he's fine. He's like, he crashes. He's like, I can't feel my legs. And like 15 minutes later, he's like, yeah, he'll be fine. It's fine. Like, it's the technology is there. It's fine. We'll get him. He has robot legs now. So I say they kill Rhodey, and that opens up the door for Tony to retire, not die, but retire. And then they introduce a character named Ironheart, who is in the comics right now. She's like a smart young teenager who basically takes over for Iron Man. That would be tight. 2, they kill Winter Soldier instead of killing Cap and replacing him with Winter Soldier, which is what everyone thinks is going to happen.
Yeah.
I say no. They kill Bucky and allow Cap to just fucking disappear into the dust. Like, just let him be. But Bucky is the reason that kind of the catalyst for all these things that have happened. And I think that he also is not special in that he has no special powers. I mean, he has powers, but he doesn't have like fucking powers that stand up to like a god.
Yeah.
And he feels so guilty about all the things he does. He charges into the fight, dude, and I'm telling you, he dies. Fucking, he's gonna die. He doesn't die. I will eat the piece of paper that this list is written on. I'll tack it up to my fridge. So I look forward to eating paper next year. And I think they kill Loki finally. I think his character has run its course. He literally doesn't do anything for the story. He just is there because people love him.
Yeah.
His entire existence in Thor was just to, or in Thor 3 specifically, was to just antagonize the story. Like he doesn't help, he doesn't hurt. He just kind of is like, he's there. And then number 4, they're going to kill Nebula 100%. She hasn't really been seen since Guardian 1. She was featured very prominently. She will stand up, fight back against her dad, save Gamora, and get crushed on screen. She's going to die.
See that?
I'm making those 4 picks right now, and in a month and a half, we'll know for sure. But if, like I said, if all 4 of these people die, I will find Marvel's phone number. I will call them. I'll say, "Where's my movie check?" Because I called this. You stole this from my podcast. I know you did. There's some dude at Marvel right now with like one headphone on, and he's like, "Loki, Nebula. All right, cool. So we're gonna kill these 4 guys." some dude in Boston said to kill these guys. I guess we got to do it. Otherwise, we'll have to eat this paper, and we can't have that on our conscience. But I'm like really looking forward to Avengers more than anything, even more than Solo. Now that we've seen the preview trailers a few times and we've seen all the posters and stuff, like I'm still gonna go see Solo, but it's
yeah.
I'm gonna go for Don Glover.
Yeah.
I just like, dude, I don't know. I feel I said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm just lucky that they're making so much Star Wars that I can just be like, ugh, I don't want to watch that Star Wars. I want to watch a good one. But because then you think about like people that watched the original trilogy and then had to wait like fucking 20 years to see anything ever again come from it.
Yeah.
I have so much Star Wars that I can pick and choose and be like, no, I don't feel like watching that today. I'm going to watch one of the other 1,000 hours of Star Wars content that I have access to. And a lot of people complain about that, but I don't give a fuck because I'm a sucker. Like, I'll watch literally anything Star Wars related.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working on. I've watched Clone Wars like at least twice in its entirety, but I'm about to start trying to start Rebels. But the animation style for those shows has always been so hard to get through because it's like so. Dude, it looks like someone like in their first year of like animation class. It's like,
Yeah, that's why I haven't got around to watching them yet.
And it's hard because Clone Wars is long. There's like so many fucking episodes. Like, I think there's like 100 plus, maybe 150, and they're all on Netflix. But it's like with an average runtime of like 20 minutes. That's like fucking a lot of time.
Yeah.
You'd be doing literally anything else. But whatever. So I don't know, man. Any other movies you're looking forward to? I know you're looking forward to Isle of Dogs.
Yeah. Deadpool 2 trailer looked pretty good.
I mean, yeah, I am for sure. Deadpool 2. Brolin looks. It's so crazy that Brolin has 2 Marvel movies coming out basically back to back.
Yeah.
Where he plays such a large character, but you know, you got to get that money. When Marvel says, "Hey, I know you're playing one. Do you want to play another?" I don't think many people would be like, "No." Look at Chris Evans and Michael B. Jordan. So, like, who knows?
I'm trying to think of what other trailers I saw.
There's, I don't think it comes out this year, but New Mutants, the next X-Men film.
Oh yeah.
That's either tail end of this year or early next year. What the fuck? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Besides Star Wars and freaking Avengers, who cares? But the Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah.
Trailer, which we didn't see Wreck-It Ralph together. I saw it with. I fell asleep. That's all I remember. I saw it. Do you ever see a 3D movie? And sometimes, so you see the movie, right? You pay the extra $5 for the glasses. They give you the glasses, and then they expect you to fucking recycle them after the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I just paid $5 for these. I'm going to keep these motherfuckers. So when I saw Wreck-It Ralph, I clearly got a pair that had been refurbed because one eye was good and the other eye looked like somebody, like, it looked like the other person was like, these don't look very good, and took them off, and he was like, and like wiped them on his shirt. It was fucked up in one lens. So the whole movie, my eyes couldn't focus on the movie. So it was making me sick because like one eye was in 3D and one eye was all fucking blurry. And so like halfway through, I like remember closing my eyes for like 5 minutes. And then I woke up and the lights were up and the credits were rolling. And like Wreck-It Ralph is a pretty long movie for an animated film.
Yeah.
And then I remember waking up and being like, oh my God, what happened? Like, last thing I remember, they're like, I don't know, they're like getting in a go-kart or something to like ride around a fucking candy track or something. I have no idea. So then I waited like 6 months and it came out on Blu-ray or whatever. And I started watching it. And at almost the exact same point, dude, I fell asleep again. I've still never seen Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know if I just didn't like it or if it was just like muscle memory at that point. Like, oh, this is where I fell asleep last time. Just fucking went to sleep. But I just remember there's that scene where they're in the room with all the villains.
Yeah.
And it was M. Bison and like all of the fucking crazy video game bad guys. And I was like, oh my God, this movie's going to be awesome. And then those guys never show up again.
Yeah.
I was like so disappointed. I was like waiting for, I was like, holy shit, like when are all these things? And then like they go into like the video game to play that's like fucking like Halo, but it's not Halo. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the fuck was happening in that movie. Well, I will go see Wreck-It Ralph 2 and probably fall asleep around halfway.
Yeah.
But it looks good. It looked like interesting.
Yeah, I laughed out loud in the trailer. The part with the bunny.
Dude. When does that comes out? I think it's probably gonna be fall.
Yeah, I think like November.
What else? Have you seen Coco yet?
Not yet. I just got it yesterday on Blu-ray. Haven't watched it yet.
I think that it was on sale at Best Buy this week, or is on sale now. I was gonna try and scoop it up, but the Best Buy is so far from my house. It's like a 2-hour train ride just to spend like $20 on a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I've been trading a bunch of stuff in every week because I bought a lot of movies and just trade them in, basically not paying for movies.
I've been trying to do that. Like on we have like 5 Goodwills here. They all suck. We used to have a store here called CEX, which was like basically like Newberry and Hastings and Bull Moose combined. You basically, if they could resell it, you could trade it. But it was downtown, so all the like bums and like theft and whatever, like they'd all take their shit to this place, and they constantly got in trouble for buying stolen goods. I'm sitting on a ton of like DVDs that I'm trying to get rid of, and like a bunch of movies that like I already own, or I own the Blu-ray, or own the digital. And I was gonna go take like a box, like a fucking like 100-pound box to CEX one day, and I pulled up their website just to like check some prices, and they're like, "We're closing all of our stores in America today." Like, too much theft. We're done. And so now I have like hundreds of movies I've been trying to ditch, and I've been like selling shit on like OfferUp and like Let Go and Craigslist, and it takes forever, dude. I'm like riding a train for like 2 hours to get like $15 for DVDs. Like, this is not worth it.
Yeah, we're sitting on a bunch of stuff right now too,
dude. There's a Facebook group that's a Criterion group, and I've been posting all of my DVDs or all my duplicates, and people give me pretty good money. Or it's like, what I have been doing has been like, look, these are the DVDs I have that I either don't need anymore, I didn't like, or I have the Blu-ray of. I was like, if you don't want to give me cash, just give me a Blu-ray that's not in my collection right now, and I'll send you the movies.
Yeah.
It's been working out pretty well. It's pretty tight. I should add you to that group. It's for people like ditching their old Criterions for like dirt cheap for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It's tight. I've been picking up a lot of stuff or trading stuff for like literally the cost of shipping. So
yeah, I don't have very many still.
Dude, I actually stopped buying Criterions. I've moved on to Arrow instead.
Yeah.
Because Arrow does more like traditional like horror and stuff, whereas Criterion, it's like for every 100 movies they put out, there's like 2 that I like and then 2 that I want. But Arrow is crazy, man. I have so much stuff, and it's also easier for me to find. There's only like one place that carries Criterion shit around here, and it's Barnes and Noble. So I pay $40 for a Blu-ray.
Yeah, I usually just wait till it's 50% off sale.
Dude,
even that's kind of like,
yeah. But that's all I do, man. That's all I've done is watch movies for like the last 6 months of my life, but more specifically, like last couple weeks. I'm also rewatching Game of Thrones right now from the beginning, and if you go back and watch it, having seen all of it and like seeing where it all leads, you go back and you watch the original. Everyone was so stupid, dude. I'm telling you. They're like, oh no, like don't worry, there's like nothing in the woods, it's cool. And then like 8 seasons later, there's like fucking ice dragons flying through the woods and shit, and like burning up. You're like, you dumb. You are all dumb. But what else? What else have I been watching? Honestly, I've just been playing video games every day. It's like all I do. I don't know if there's any other movie stuff to talk about. Probably not. I wrote a bunch of notes right before we started, and I think we've talked about them all.
Yeah.
I did watch, actually, after the last time we talked. It was either this last one or the one before. I hadn't seen It Comes at Night yet.
No, yeah.
Around to watching that. Surprisingly good. I wasn't that, like, I was like, interested, but I wasn't that interested before the movie. Like, and then we talked about it, and I was like, I'll watch it. And I watched it one night, and I was like, well, this is one of the best thrillers I've seen in, like, the last, like, 10 years.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't what I
was. There's 100 bad ones.
Yeah.
What time are we at? Was it like half hour?
I don't even think it's that long.
Damn.
I wish there was a way to tell on here.
I mean, I was gonna tell a funny story, but I was gonna close the episode with it. So that'll be my thing.
About.
I have to listen to the whole episode, and I'll tell a story at the end that will make at least somebody laugh, make me laugh.
Talk about some other stuff then. Throw some other stuff in there.
Dude,
I had some notes, some other non-movie notes.
Dude, let's hear it. Last time I built the trivia game because I didn't know what else to talk about, and it was fun. I don't want to do a trivia game.
I just want to talk about it's the last year of Warped Tour.
It is, and I just saw the full set list, or not the full set list, but like all the bands involved.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Not that great. Not a good way to go out.
There's there's two parts to that. There's like 6 bands on the tour that I actually like and care about. And I think the other side of that is all of the bands that used to make Warped Tour great have all been kicked off for sexually harassing 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
So I think like every year as they would like whittle down another couple people, I think it played into why they're not doing it anymore. But yeah, there's some like pretty good bands. I don't know if there's enough for me to go stand in the fucking heat at Mansfield for like 12 hours, but maybe.
Yeah, there's a few. Of course, Every Time I Die.
They are, you know what tour they're on before Warped Tour this year? They're supporting Fall Out Boy.
Oh, yeah.
And they're coming to somewhere here, and I was thinking about going, but it's like shitty band. Every Time I Die, Fall Out Boy. But do you remember when everyone was taking a break, like when Fall Out Boy didn't exist, and they did the super group, The Damned Things?
Yeah.
With, like fucking Scott Ian from Anthrax or whatever. And part of me wants them to play some of those songs together, in which case I would go.
That would be cool.
But yeah, Every Time I Die is basically like touring nonstop this year. But whatever.
I'm looking at some of the other bands.
I was gonna say, who else? Unearth is on the tour.
Could see 303 again.
Seen them twice, and they disappeared right after the second time. Actually, I think if you include all the times we went to Warped Tour, I've probably seen them more than twice, but like directly seen them twice.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So you have to remember when we went and we saw them, right? And it was us, and we were standing in the middle, and there was like the mom and her kid behind me.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, don't trust a hoe. And I was like, what the fuck? And like everyone was like fucking like 12 years old, like Nike sling backpacks, like fucking face makeup, and we were just like,
when's the heavy shit going to start?
Yeah. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I think we were waiting for a mirror.
Yeah. Like kept happening to there'd be like there were the two stages that were next to each other, and they'd alternate playing, and we'd be at one waiting for the other band to play, and then we'd switch over and they'd finish their set, and the other band on the other side would be shitty and they would play, and we just like alternated spots like for like a good 4 hours during the day. And that's when we like we kept bumping into people that we knew that whole day.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Who else is on the tour? I don't have the list in front of me, but
Asking Alexandria, Beartooth, Bowling for Soup,
which I would see 100%.
Real Big Fish.
So that guy can drive from Canada and miss it.
Yeah.
Anytime someone talks about Warped Tour, dude, I have to tell that story. It's like one of my favorite stories of my whole life. It's just, I've told it on here, but just that dude's look where he was like, "Hey, what time's Real Big Fish playing?" and like, if you've never been to Warped Tour, there's like a fucking 200-foot fucking schedule behind you at all times. And like the dude's like, "When's the Real Big Fish?" And it was like he had missed it by like he missed it by like a half hour. And I was like, I don't know, man. I gotta go though.
Drove all the way from Canada.
Dude, I know, which is ridiculous because I feel like there's closer Warped Tours than that.
Yeah.
I feel like New York, maybe. I don't know, but like northern New York. But
yeah, Buffalo is right on the border.
Oh my god, dude, that was the fucking best. That set the tone for the whole day.
uh, got some 41 Under Oath, who just put out a new song. Have you heard that yet?
I haven't because when they retired, I was kind of like, well, good for them. And then they're like, psych, we're back. Everyone's been doing that, dude. Everyone takes like 2 years off and then they come back. Um, I haven't listened to it. Is it still the lineup from when they left, or is it like new guys?
It's still the same lineup, I believe.
Because at that point, the drummer, the ginger dude, had left,
Yeah,
hadn't he?
yeah, he went to Paramore.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but now he's back in Under Oath.
And then had had Spencer Chamberlain left at that point?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. The last like two Under Oath albums didn't really do it for me, so I just like stopped listening to them. But it would be cool to see them just in case they never come back after this.
Yeah, I saw them on their tour when they came back. That was pretty good. They played 2 albums, like the whole album.
Damn. I mean, if you want to go like all the way back to like when like reinventing your exit and like all of that shit was hot, those are the albums. Those are the albums to play. But um there's like so much other stuff they've done, dude. I don't even know that if you played a full set list for me, like, I don't even think I'd be able to name half the songs or even recognize half the songs. But I feel that way like about most of the bands that I used to listen to. Um, just because I'm lazy and I only listen to like 5 bands on any given day. Like Every Time I Die, Black Dahlia is always in my rotation. That's pretty much it, honestly. Just alternate between Nightbringers and Low Teens every day.
Yeah. Have you heard that Shadow of Intent band that's opening for that Dahlia tour?
I hadn't. I wasn't familiar with them, so I pulled their music up and then listened to it. And I don't know if I got like a weird song on Spotify, but I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I think the one I heard, it was super fast, and the guy's vocals were like, he was like, I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Dude, he was super low, and he was like as fast as he possibly could.
Yeah. So if we go, I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Dude, the place they're playing is Paradise Rock Club. It's 2 blocks from my house. And they're playing Nightbringers in its entirety, which was an incredible album. And then they'll follow it up with Nocturnal stuff. They'll follow it up with all of the hits. And Paradise is like fairly small. It's like a little bigger than I think if you took Rocco's and doubled it in size, you get Paradise. So, and the fact that it's like I can walk there from my house so I can get shit faced at a Dahlia show and then walk home is like the best thing ever. So that's like a 100% going for me. I'm trying to think who else is on the tour that I care about.
Isn't Whitechapel playing This Is Exile?
Yes, that's the whole point of that tour is them alternating and doing Nightbringers and This Is Exile back to back, which is never, I didn't think I'd ever see that happen. That's pretty tight.
Yeah.
And tickets are like mad cheap. But yeah, it's just the fact that like Dahlia has come through a bunch of times, and every time they come to like venues that I really like, I don't like, whether they're like too small or they're too far away, or like a good example is like people getting shot out front of it, like, and then Dahlia plays. I'm like, I'm good, I think.
Yeah.
So, but this one is like the perfect storm of like stuff that I want to go see, and also like it's like a 5-10 minute walk from my house.
I don't think I've seen him since we saw him at Rock and Shock that one year.
I've seen him once more in between then, but that was a good ass show.
Yeah, that Rock and Shock show was fucking 10 years ago.
Yeah. Dude, I'm trying to go to I want to go to Rock and Shock this year.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, what's up?
I was gonna say I'm not really doing haunt stuff this year, so.
Damn. I mean, what are you doing now? Are you just chilling or what?
I actually just got a new job. Like, I package pills for hospitals.
What?
Make pretty pretty good money. So
you just like break one up and you're like, and you're just like heartburn medicine and you're like grinding it up. Yeah, great.
it's so weird there. Yeah, it's so quiet. I have to run to the bathroom every time I need a fart.
Holy fuck, dude. Oh my god. Oh, I just laughed so hard my head started to hurt. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You just like do like the little thing, you're like counting pills out and it's like dead quiet, and then just every now and then you see like you like a fucking pin drop after. Oh my god. That's amazing. Yeah. That's funny as fuck.
I only say that because last week was a bad day.
You have like fucking Taco Tuesday, and you go to work the next day. And just, at the end of the day, they're like, "Are you okay? Like, we saw you leave like 15 times." You're like, "Yeah, no, Taco Tuesday, it's fine."
Basically, what happened.
Oh, dude, that's amazing. You figure like that would be a job where like I feel like everyone would be old.
Yeah, like, basically.
It's just you and then like a ton of like old people that are just like fucking counting their own medicine. They're like, this is for my diabetes and this is for my heart. And over there trying not to fart during the day. Holy shit. Dude, I was working for a furniture company, for a bed company, and then not too long ago I ended up leaving. So I've just been doing nothing for like the last, it's fucking as long as I can remember at this point. I wake up, I play video games, I drink beer at like 6:30 in the afternoon. It's pretty nice, but it's also so boring. Like right now, everyone is gone. Like everyone I know in town is gone. So I literally spent the last 4 days just like fucking planted on my couch playing video games. And then we have this crazy storm that like basically knocked out like half of the town yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't been able to go anywhere. So I got up this morning and started playing video games, and I was like, we have to do a podcast. I was like, I have to put clothes on. I was like, I had to like pause like Dragon Quest or Dragon Age, and I was like, I'll record for like an hour and then I'll go back.
Yeah, I had to put pants on, even though you can't see my nether regions.
I got up top, shorts on the bottom. So yeah, I mean, I might go to Warped Tour. I don't know. It depends on what else is happening during that time.
I feel like I have to go. Like the final year, and my first one was 10 years ago. Really? I think that was the one where we were all crammed in your mom's car.
I was gonna say, was that the one where Sam pissed on himself?
I think so.
Oh my god, dude! They all run together. Like whether it was that one or like there was the one where in the middle of the show we just got absolutely rained on. Like
yeah.
It might have been the same year for all I remember. I don't know, man. It's just like it's like a lot of money to just go see a few bands that I don't like. I want to see, but there's so many other tours happening this year that I'm going to try and like pick like 5 that I really want to go to and try and go. But
yeah,
every band is coming out of retirement. Every band that is still around is putting out a new album. Like a good example is I've seen MC Chris a handful of times over the last couple of years, and every time he's gotten worse. And he's like coming back to a place that's like right down the road, and the tickets are like $15. And it's like, do I go just to go, or do I go because I want to go? I don't really want to go, but it's like $15, like whatever.
Yeah. I think after he stops smoking weed, it's gotten worse.
Dude, you can tell that he's tired and he's old. The last time I saw him, normally his sets are like an hour and 15 minutes long, and like he's energetic and he's talking. Dude, he just stood up and he was like, all right, this is a song from Eating is Not Cheating. And then I was like, wow, that sucks. Sucks to be you, bro.
Yeah.
But What are you gonna do? Dude's been touring for like 20 years, so whatever. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff, but I want for sure. I want to go to Rock and Shock or at least some sort of horror festival or horror con. Because we talked about.
I think there's one coming up in June. Scaricon, New England.
I've never even heard of it.
It's usually in New York, but I guess they're doing a New England one.
I wonder where. Huh. That'd be tight. I mean, I've been working on that. I've been working on a lot of stuff, but I've been working on the horror screenplay that we talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
I have like a good chunk of it kind of written out, and I was like, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go to horror conventions and just like start talking to people and making small connections, so that when I was ready to like put something out in the wild, I'm not just like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
People I could talk to, whether it's like other writers or people that are working on films or just whatever, or people that want to do films, and I could give them the work that I've already done and been like, this is what I'm capable of. You should bring me on board.
Yeah. Need to find like a small studio that could produce it or something.
That's what I'm saying, man. I signed up. Boston has like this Boston casting website where you basically you just send all your shit in and then you hope for the best. And there's a ton of stuff coming up now that the weather's getting better and everyone's gonna start shooting in the spring. Dude, there's hundreds of productions that are like making movies and need like basic help to acting, whatever. I'm literally just gonna like pepper my resume at people for like the next months and hope something happens. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of people shooting like horror movies in Boston this year, so I'm just like trying to get on at least one. It's like I could just be a decomposed body in a tub. I don't even care. Let's do it. Give me a credit. Give me an IMDb credit. Let's do this.
I keep trying to write, but like I have too many ideas that I keep going to everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I've got 2 screenplays that I'm in and out on. I have a book, which is an idea that I stole from someone from a long time ago, and then I was talking about it, and then someone else was like, "Oh, that'd be a great idea," and I was like, "I'm gonna start writing this." But dude, I've been like hooked on reading other people's screenplays and then just kind of like perfecting my ability to craft screenplays. But I'm hoping by the end of the year I'll have 2 like full finished, like done, ready to be worked on, and like 2 more behind that. And then who knows? Maybe I don't ever have to work ever again. Maybe I just horror movies for Sci-Fi Channel for the rest of my life.
That'd be sweet.
It's got to be doable. So, and I'd like to. I sent you a link, or we talked about it. There's like all kinds of like festivals and like director stuff where you can like go and like talk to people and submit your work and do workshops and all kinds of stuff this year that I'm trying to visit so that I can like I said, like talk to some people and be like, does my work suck or not? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's why like whenever I start writing something, I want to like, I've sent you stuff before. Like, I think my writing kind of sucks, so I need someone to be like, no.
Dude, you write the outline and then you pass it to someone and you're like, fix this. Make it better. That's what the entire screenwriting subreddit is. Like people that are like, I wrote this 100-page screenplay about X, Y, and Z. What do you guys think? Also, don't steal it. And then you start reading it and you're like, oh, I would never steal this. This is terrible. The other day, actually, I read someone's like spec script. They're like, I wrote an episode of Daredevil. And I was like, well, I love Daredevil. It's like, and I started reading it. And like 2 pages in, dude, I was like, the dialogue in this is so bad. I don't think this person's ever had a conversation with a real person in their life. like Matt Murdock walks in the room with like a fucking cane and he's like, what up, dog? I was like, just stop. And I wrote in the comments, I was like, this is bad. I didn't know what else to say. I was like, this is just bad, guys. And the guy wrote back and he was like, it's my first screenplay. I just wanted to write about Daredevil. I was like, well, don't. Just stop. Just, I would want someone to tell me if mine was like that, just to stop.
Should have been like, maybe Affleck will do it again.
Yeah, man. Just send it to Netflix. But, and then I get worried. I'm like, what if I put my stuff on there and someone's like, this is bad? I'm like, okay. And just like put a gun in my mouth. I'm like, if you don't like my screenplay, I'm gonna blow the head off of this bunny. And they're like, it's okay. Like, what did you say? It's okay. So, no, I mean, I'll send you some stuff eventually whenever I finish, and then, you know, there's a void on Comedy Central now that Workaholics is gone. This is our time to step up and write a TV show for them.
Yeah, I was looking into that thing that I tagged you in.
Yeah.
And it's like way too complicated for entries.
It's all good, man. There's like hundreds and hundreds of like festivals. Movie theater here has like, I think I told you can shoot like up to a 10-minute video, and it can be an episode. It can be a sizzle reel. It can be a trailer, and then they'll show it and people can talk about it afterwards. And people from the area that work in production come and watch the shorts to see like, is this person a good cinematographer? Is this good? Does this person have great sound ability? Does this person write well? And then if you meet those, if they're like, well, we're interested, they're like right there.
Yeah.
And it's free to enter as long as you like your shit's less than 10 minutes long. It's like, well, that's easy because that's all I have worth of content is 10 minutes. There's all kinds of stuff. And then like, I mean, there's every year for the Con Festival, Cannes, they have the director's workshop where if you submit your script, they'll let you come and work on it with like real actors and shit, like a week, and then they send you back and they're like, here you go. So I don't know, man, just have to finish writing and then make it good.
It's always the hard part.
Just submit it to Netflix. That's what I'm going to do with everything that I write. I'm just going to send it to Netflix. I don't even know what their address is. I'm just going to Google what is Netflix's address.
just bug all the execs on Twitter.
At Netflix Joe, did you read my script? Yes or no? Just writes back. He's like, this is bad. Okay, thank you. I was like, no, I'm on the subreddit, man. I read your shit already. It sucks. So that's all I'm working on, man, is just trying to write. And then I made the mistake of I started writing one in a book, like in like a notebook or whatever. And then I got like 10 or 15 pages in, and then it dawned on me that I'd have to retype it. And I started looking back at what I was writing, and I was like, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about. Like, he enters the room, sees X. I was like, this is a comedy, bro. I don't know what's happening. There's blood on the floor. I don't know, man. This is a period piece. So, but, dude, that's all you got to do is just keep and then we could do an audio podcast where we read it out loud. Because Kevin, dude, speaking of Kevin Smith, that is, two things. One, he did an episode of Smodcast where they hit somebody screenplay out loud. And it was awesome. And two, homeboy almost just died. Yeah. So I woke up and the first thing I do is I just like look at like my Twitter or whatever, and I'll like browse through, and it was like Kevin Smith dies. And I was like, oh my God. Like clicked on it, and they're like, just kidding, but he went to the hospital though. Yeah. Like, holy fuck. And
he's acting like it's no big deal.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, man, I just like almost died, but anyways, check out my new special. Yeah, man. He's saying the thing that happened, like the particular like blockage or whatever that he had, is after they clear it or after they take care of you, you basically like only live another 10 more years after that, and then you're done. And somebody that I was talking to was like, well, everyone knows that Kevin Smith's best work is like right after something happens to him, or like him coming to terms with his life, like how Clerks was about his real life, his real shitty life growing up, and Dogma was about him coming to terms, like being raised Catholic but not really feeling it. I was like, dude, Clerks 3 is going to be tight now. If that
Yeah.
happens. He should write it so that Randall has a heart attack. And then he has to come back to work. He has no health insurance, and so he goes into debt. And so he has to reopen the Quick Stop. And here we are. Clerks 3. Or Dogma 2, where he comes to terms with being a Catholic who almost died. And he could just cut Alan Rickman out of the first movie, put like the shimmery filter on him so he looks like a ghost, and have him be in the second movie.
Yeah.
But dude, I hope he does something else before all this happens.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And supposedly he's got a couple things like at post-production right now.
I hope so, because he was gonna do Hit Somebody, and that kind of like fell apart. He was gonna do Clerks 3, and that fell apart. He was gonna do the Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and I haven't really heard anything about that lately. He had like Moose Jaws or whatever, which isn't going there.
I think he shot something for it. I don't know. I could be wrong.
He did. There was an anthology, a horror anthology that he was a part of.
Yeah. Kilroy was here.
Yeah. But that's like, between that and like, I don't even know, man.
Oh yeah, then he was supposed to do Mallrats too.
Mm-hmm. He needs to get on it. He needs to wrap all of this up. So, I don't know, man. I was like, if Kevin died, we could just stop the podcast. We got nothing left. I'm going to send him a link. I want to send him a link on his Facebook and be like, we started this podcast because of your podcast, because of your movies and wanting to be filmmakers. What do you think? I guarantee you he would not listen to it.
Probably not. Just bug him on Twitter all day.
Dude, you know what? I'm going to do that once a day for the rest of my life until he dies. I'm just going to be like, did you listen yet? Did you listen yet? And I'll only see good episodes. So like Bro Rogan, Footus Extendus. What was the Urban Dictionary episode? Was that chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water? Yeah. That one. That's the only ones I remember that being any good.
Fear Tears is pretty good.
I don't remember that one. I don't remember that at all.
That one we had Avery, and I think Travis was there.
What the fuck were we talking about?
I don't know. I remember the Fear Tears. That title came from your story about being in Florida and your mom left you somewhere.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Oh, and then I think Avery opens the podcast up talking about farts.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and listen to that one, man. There's like, it's so funny. If you go back and listen to all the classic episodes, there's like, let's say on average, they're an hour and 15 minutes long. You could like cut away 30 minutes out of every episode probably, where it's just like bullshitting and talking. But there's always like one little something in each episode that's like fucking revolutionary. And at some point, I'm going to go through all of the episodes and I'm just going to cut them all out and just create one mega episode. Like the best things we've ever done.
Yeah.
And I think most of them will be me telling stories in which I was either harmed, scared, or both.
You should do that for like the 50th episode or something.
That would be tight. What are
this
we even
is, at? This is 31.
31. Holy shit.
Oh, which we can bring up. It's been 4 years since the first episode.
It has been. I'm trying to remember what we talked about the very first episode.
I think it was Walking Dead. I know we did talk a lot about that.
R.I.P. That show sucks now.
Yeah, I actually started watching it again.
From like, current or from?
Yeah, I'm current. Season 7 was good, and then it's not good anymore.
Who is the villain right now? Is it still?
It's still Negan.
Dude, that shit needs to end. They did the same thing with the governor, where they dragged him out for like way longer than it should have been a thing.
Yeah.
I think the last season I watched was 4B, like, so the second half of 4. And then I just like stopped caring. I tried to tune in on 5, and it just wasn't doing it for me. I stopped reading the comics too. I think I'm just over all of it. Although I did just hear, spoilers if you haven't seen it, I don't know if this is true, but did they kill Carl?
Yep.
So who's left? Is anyone left besides Rick from the beginning?
From the beginning. Daryl, Carol. Who else?
Is Michonne still around? Is she dead yet?
Michonne's still around, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty.
They killed off everyone I liked.
Yeah. I mean, the Glenn thing, which happened in the comics, it was this whole thing. It was like issue 100 or 101. I saw that coming. But then it was just like, I just don't care. I don't care about anyone else. There's other TV shows I'd rather watch, I think.
And in the same episode, they killed Abraham.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, he doesn't make it that long in the comics.
Like, I liked his character on the show.
Who else is dead? Yeah, I mean, they took all the characters I liked and either did it weird or they killed them. And now it's like, I don't even know. I think in the comics, they're still running the story with like Ezekiel and like the tiger and shit. It's been like 100 fucking issues since that started. So I don't even know what else to do anymore.
Yeah, they're still kind of playing that out.
I've been, recently I've been going through all my comics and like listing them out. And I have so many of the not truly old Walking Deads, like not 1s and 2s or anything, but I have like from 40 up through 130 bagged and boarded. And I'm like trying to clear out shit out of my house. So like I have so much stuff that I don't even look at.
Yeah.
And I've like been periodically like posting comics and stuff, dude. I am making a killing getting rid of a bunch of comics, dude. It's so nice. And like they're so thin that I can just take a bunch of them and just like slap them in like a priority box, and there's like $80.
Yeah.
It's like the day of my life. But Walking Dead stuff, yeah, I was like going through them recently and started finding more, and it was like, I don't even need a job, dude. I'm just gonna sell all my comics.
I've thought about that before, just buying and selling stuff. We do it all the time.
Dude, with Goodwills, I think now with like how, because like back in the day when you used to sell something, it was like you had to fucking get on Craigslist. It was impossible because then you're like checking your emails and like, is it spam? Is it not spam? Is this dude serious? Like, and then you'd be waiting for an email. Someone's like, I'll give you 80. And you're like, no, dude, I said 150. Where did you get 80 from?
Yeah.
And like with OfferUp and like Let Go and even the Craigslist app now, it's like instant. And so I've started picking stuff up that I know I can sell for a higher price. Like not really clothing or anything, but like movies or games and books. Dude, I'll snag them from Goodwill for like $2. And then I'm like, well, I know I can sell this for $10.
Yeah.
The best day. It's so, dude, it's a real, dude, it's flipping, man. It's the real deal.
Yeah. We've been starting to collect Pops a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We flip those all the time now.
I didn't tell you. Speaking of Pops, I sold my entire Pops collection like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Minus a couple that I actually cared about. Like I kept my Army of Darkness ones, and I kept like some like classic Star Wars stuff. But do you remember when we went to Six Flags? I bought my very first Pops at the Warner Brothers store. I bought Sinestro and Green Lantern.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I ended up selling Sinestro for like $70. I sold my whole collection to this girl who just started collecting. She drove all the way down from Salem, New Hampshire. I sold like 70 Pops that I had left for like a couple $100. A lot of them were like fucking worth like $3, like common shit, but it was like my Guardians, dude, my Star Wars that I didn't want, my video game ones, like all kinds of weird shit that I didn't care about that I just bought because I was collecting, and then kept the ones that I cared about, and it was awesome. But also it was like a lot of work because she wanted to meet up somewhere, so I had like these like 10 bags of like fucking Pops on the train. But it's worth it. A couple $100 for like 15 minutes of my life.
They go for so much. Like I
It's
got
all
a Fred Flintstone right here. He's worth like a little over 100.
Jesus Christ, dude. They just put out Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash just put out like a comic book men line. So it's like Kev, all the people from Comic Book Men, Walt and Brian from Clerks fame, and like the full set you can get signed from their store, and like people are flipping them, like buying them for like $150, and then like turning around and selling the set for like $800.
Jeez.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. Yeah, man. It's like I'll just go thrifting with like the mindset that I'm gonna only buy stuff that I either want or two that I can make money off of. It's pretty lucrative, but it's time consuming.
Yeah.
But nah, man, you got to come at some point. You guys will have to, because you haven't been down since we moved. Our apartment is much nicer now. Like when you guys came down, we were in the fucking basement still, which was awful, and it was like hot and humid, and the walls were paper thin. You could hear every fart. Now we're like, apartment's nicer, but dude, you guys will at some point you'll have to come down and then hit all the Goodwill and Boomerangs and all the thrift and store and just chill, man. It's not that far away. You guys are like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. I mean, we're fucking here every day, dude.
Well, if nothing, be down in June for that show.
Definitely. What's the story with? Oh, I meant to tell you. I got the wedding placeholder invite.
Yeah.
Pretty tight.
It just like finished the actual invitation.
Damn. Are you guys still looking for? You guys still shooting for May?
Yeah.
Damn. Still, is it going to be May 4th?
Yeah.
Well, thank God. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Thank God Avengers is not on that. Hey, man, I'd love to take part, but also I got tickets for like 40 minutes from now. So I gotta... yeah, man, I was... yeah, we have the other invite up on the fridge, but it's pretty cool. I'm trying to think. So, two things. One, we've been trying to come up with like wedding gifts. Do you guys have a registry or anything?
I think we're just gonna do like basically like a donate thing. We don't really need things. I don't know.
All right. I was gonna say because I was waiting for a registry for like something you would want, and then we've also been like trying to hunt down. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much, but we've been trying to hunt down a special collector's item for you guys, just as like a, it's a big moment kind of thing, and it has been exceptionally difficult. Like when you guys said that you were going to get married, it was like, well, we have to get something for Zach, or for both of you guys that would be like crazy, like something that you'd never expect. And so we started looking at like Star Wars, like screen used props and stuff, and they're out there. They're not hard to find, but it's hard to find something that doesn't suck. You're like, you can get a 1x1 square of Obi-Wan's cloak from number 2 for $1,000, or you can get the screen used stand-in Jar Jar head for $15. I'm like, oh, Jar Jar was pretty cool. So we're trying to come up with something tight, but we're running out of time. So, we'll see. But yeah, man, we're pumped. Can't believe it's that close. Are you feeling it, or is it just like another day?
It's like another day right now.
Yeah. Give it time.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll be like, huh. Do I just take this screen used Qui-Gon cloak and run, or no? Brutal. We're for sure. It's so crazy. Everyone's getting married this year. Like you guys, and then Madison's brother's getting married, and like I have like fucking 8 weddings to go to this year. I haven't been to a wedding in 10 years. Like now everyone's doing it this year. So that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, man, we'll come up with something cool. And then, most importantly, you guys are having a reception, right, in the same area that you're doing the wedding.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. I wonder if that place is gonna have a bar.
No, no bar.
No
We're
bar.
we're bringing everything.
I was gonna say, because if it is a bar, I was like, I wonder how much it would cost to make it an open bar. But if you're bringing stuff, I wonder if it's illegal for me to transport kegs across state lines. It is actually. Just show up with a U-Haul truck. I'm like, so open the back. There's some stuff. Man, that's so crazy. It's right around the corner, and it's right before my birthday too. I was thinking, are you interested in doing a I don't know when or how or where or what, but like a bachelor party, like a thing before, or are you just gonna like chill?
Just gonna chill, I guess. Kind of just winging it.
We were thinking, because we had season passes for Six Flags last year, and it's like super cheap if you renew like another year behind it. We were trying to think if we could put together a time for it. Doesn't necessarily have to be just you and I and other dudes, but it could be like a collective group for us to go down to Six Flags New Jersey before the wedding and just get sunburnt and shit. But we have time. We'll figure it out. But I'm also just trying to go to Six Flags New Jersey before it gets too hot.
Yeah, still never rode King to Ka.
That's what I'm saying. And they've opened some other stuff since then too. But
yeah, some like Joker coaster or something.
Figure it out. But we went to Six Flags last year a bunch, and it was worth it.
Yeah,
it's fucking expensive, but it's worth it.
You should come to us to Horror Nights in October.
That's at Universal, right?
Yeah.
And Harry Potter is at Disney, right?
No, it's at Universal.
It's at Universal. Shit, I'm trying to go. Especially because I think they added a bunch of stuff to Harry Potter this year or last year, whatever. But yeah, man, we'll go. I mean, at this point, we have a surplus of time and money because I don't go anywhere or do anything. So, like, what can I buy? What can I do?
Yeah, it's always awesome time.
For sure, man. Also, I've been trying to go for like the last couple of years, and every year it's like either work or I was broke as fuck. So this year, who knows? But so anyways, actually speaking of this year, so I haven't been working lately, and I had a job interview at a mall, which fucking 16-year-old Chris would have been amped about. So I rode all the way down to this mall, way the fuck out of the way. And this is a story I wanted to tell. So we live in Brighton, which is like not technically Boston. It's like west of Boston. It's like 2 miles outside of Boston. But this mall that I had a job interview at is like all the way on the coast. It's like fucking, in a car, it's 12 miles. But if you take the train, it's 2.5 hours. So I ride the train down there and I do this job interview, and it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. Dude, I'm exhausted. I have this interview. I nail it, whatever. I'm walking out. And the only way to get back to the train is to ride the bus, which I fucking hate doing here. So I get on the bus. So first off, I'm sitting in the bus shelter, and it's like 10:30. I'm in a jacket. It's fucking 100 degrees. I swear to God, I'm sweating. And this dude is standing behind me, and he's talking. And I didn't think anything of it, like whatever. And he keeps talking, and like eventually, like I kind of like turn and look out of the corner of my eye because I thought he was talking on the phone. Dude has no phone, has no headphones on. He's just talking to himself. So I was like, red flag. This is not cool. And he comes around and comes into the bus area, and I'm like waiting for the bus, and I'm like looking at my phone or whatever. And he's like looking at me, and he's like, play the stocks, get money. I was like, no thanks. So I don't know what else. So I'm freaked out. This dude's fucking crazy, and he starts walking off. I'm like, whatever. Bus pulls up. I have no idea if it's the right bus. I step on, and I'm like, yo, does this bus go to where I think it goes? And the driver is like, yeah, but I'm going to sit here for a few minutes. I was like, all right, cool. Tap my card, and I turn to get on the bus, dude, and this old lady, literally had to be 70 years old. She comes walking up to me. She has, like, her hair's all fucked up. She has, like, one snaggle tooth. and she's wearing like a top that's like off kilter and like a mini skirt that literally was like 1 inch higher, dude, and I could have seen her fucking cooch. So she comes up and she's blocking me on the bus, and she's like, "Do you like my skirt?" And I was like, "What?" And she's like, "Fucking stinks." And she's like, "You like my skirt?" And I was like, I'm just trying to get on the bus." So I like try and like weasel my way past her. And as I'm going past her, dude, I like glance out of the back of my eyes to see if she's still there, dude. And she's just hanging whole ass out of the back of the skirt. Dude, like this old, nasty, grody butt just like looking right in my face. And then I go to sit down, and the bus driver is waiting. He's like waiting for other people to get on. And she's just like standing there and like slowly getting off. And she's walking away from the bus. And the whole time, like stinky, nasty, like butt crop dust was just all in the bus. It smelled terrible. I'm like sitting there with like my jacket up. and it's super hot. So like the bus just becomes like a hot box of just like farts. And as we're pulling away later, we're like following the same road that she was walking on, and she's like a half mile down the road, dude, with her butt still hanging out. and I just got home and I was like, well, the interview went really well, but I saw a lot of butt today. I don't know if I want to go back. Like, I don't know what's going on. But and that, when people ask me how I like living in Boston, that's the story I tell now. It's like, well, I saw a lot of butt today. So so nobody can live in Boston. I'm ready to go home now. But it was just crazy, dude. It was like her butt like grazed against my pants. So like came home and just like immediately was like, I don't need these pants anymore. So just put them in the garbage. It's fine. And then to top it off, like I had to sit there on the bus for like 15 minutes and just like watch her walk away with like her butt hanging out. I was like, this is fucked up. It's like almost Florida levels, but not quite. But I once watched a guy sit on a bench that was made of metal that had slats on it, and he just pulled his pants down ever so slightly and then just started to poop through the bench. And the bench is slatted, so it was coming out, and we're like a block, not a block away, we're like 10 feet away, whatever, and we're like waiting for something, and the slats were so small that it was cutting it like Play-Doh, so the poop was coming out like that. And this is like, and then he pulls his pants up and just walks away like it didn't happen. And I was like, people sit on that bench all the time. I don't know what the fuck to do. So I was gonna sit on that, not anymore. Oh my god, dude. I've seen some things now. So that has to have been an hour. I feel like it's been
I think so. I think it's around an hour.
Whew. It's a good time. What else, man? What else is there going on? We can record pretty much any time. So
yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we want to talk about this week.
Let's see if I had anything else.
I know. Check those notes. My notes ran out after like minute 15.
The only other thing I really had was the announcement of Ronda Rousey going to the WWE.
I mean,
kind of saw it coming.
But
I just thought it was funny.
I mean, think about it though. Like, for all the shit that we give, like Brock Lesnar and like CM Punk for doing the alternate, like I think Ronda's only move was going to the WWE. Like, she has no. And to be fair, like whatever, you're on top, and then you get your ass kicked a bunch of times. Like whatever, you don't want to fight anymore. But it's so crazy. Like if you look at her, like 2-3 years ago, before all this happened, she was like, "I'm the best, I'm unbeatable," and then she gets crushed, and she's like, "I'm just gonna go wrestle now." So, yeah. Did you watch UFC at all last night? I watched a little bit of it.
I didn't. I saw the results. I want to watch it now. The Frankie Edgar fight,
dude. It was crazy. Brian Ortega, the guy that fought him. Do you know who he is? Are you familiar with him?
I know he's been like in the top 10 for a while now, but I haven't actually seen him fight.
He's if you go way back and you watch some of the Gracie University videos or like the Henner Gracie videos, Brian was always the other guy with him, and it's like it's so crazy. You go back and you watch like Gracie Jiu-Jitsu instructionals, and like Brian's like super young, and they call him T City because he used to do this move where he'd do like a flying triangle or whatever, and it's like every time I see him, he's like less and less jiu-jitsu, more striking, and he pretty much just like retired Frankie Edgar last night. And he stepped in with like they changed the opponent like in the last week.
Yeah.
Brian was going to be fighting someone else, and then they were just like, "Fuck it, like we'll fix this." And Frankie got punched right in the fucking face, like real hard. And I don't think Frankie had ever been finished before.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So saw that, and then Cyborg pretty much knocked. I can't even pronounce her name, but the Russian lady or Ukrainian, whatever, like knocked her into fucking next month. And then Mackenzie Dern fought, she's a jiu-jitsu champion. She's like super popular, super cool. Everyone loves her. And she just like spent the entire match throwing like haymakers and shit. It was wild. It was worth watching for sure. I just stream them. I just like pull up my computer and just like find a stream and just sit there and watch it while I play games or something.
I should have. I totally forgot it was on until this morning when it was like, Frankie Edgar knocked out.
Yeah. You should for sure watch that fight. It was crazy. And it was also like really sad. Because pretty much everyone that I used to watch like religiously that I really like is either retired or when they do fight, it's just like, just please don't fight me. But there's a lot of good stuff coming up. There's a lot of fights later this year, and I'm hoping there's talk of Connor coming back for Dublin later this year.
Yeah.
Which would be crazy because his belt, the NRM belt is being fought for pretty soon. So
yeah.
See what happens, man. He's got that money. He doesn't need to fight no more.
Yeah. I don't know, I'd like to see him and Khabib though.
What if he loses? What if Khabib loses his next fight though, man? That would just ruin it for everyone.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be him. Who's the other guy?
Tony Ferguson.
Yeah. Who, could beat him, whatever. But dude, I just want Connor to come back for one fight and then just be done. It's like I feel like he doesn't care anymore. He's like, I have my millions of dollars. Why do I need to come do shit for you now?
Yeah.
So.
Or I would like to see him come back against GSP.
I don't know, man. I'm not trying to see GSP get turned into fucking mulch.
Yeah.
He, retires, comes back, won his fight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Who did he fight?
Bisping.
Bisping, that's right. So wins. I don't know, dude. I just don't think. I would have liked to see GSP like 8 years ago versus Connor now, but I just don't think anyone else hits like Connor hits, and I don't think GSP is ready for that, man.
Yeah.
Hit him and
retired.
Like, dude, he should. But money pays, and like I said, speaking of UFC, actually, just remembered that they announced that CM Punk is coming back.
Oh, I didn't see that.
So I don't know about who or when or where or why, but they said that he's definitely going to fight again. And it's been like a year and a half, 2 years since the last one, I think. So
I was listening to one of Rogan's podcasts, and he was talking to Tyron Woodley about how they'd like to see him versus Floyd Mayweather in a cage.
I'd watch that. I mean, I'd watch anything at this point, but I would actually buy a pay-per-view if they put Floyd in the cage versus anyone. I don't want to see boxing anymore. He'll win. It's whatever.
Yeah.
But, dude, put him in like James Toney. See if he gets choked the fuck out.
It's supposedly happening, but...
Dude, I don't know, man.
The boxing match was talked about for a couple of years before it happened, so...
That's true. So maybe in like 2025, we'll see Floyd step into the cage for like $500 million. Like I said, I'd pay $64.99 for that HD pay-per-view, and then be disappointed when it ends just like James Toney, where a couple punches get ducked and then you get choked out.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a crazy year for UFC, and crazy year like everyone's retiring, everyone's dead, or or everyone's being signed by Bellator and then fighting,
Yeah.
randos for $1,000. So
I just saw that John Fitch is in Bellator now.
He's fighting. Who the fuck is he fighting?
See it, Paul Daly?
Yes. Who? Dude, I don't even care. I've always been a Paul Daly fan, even after he punched Koscheck after the bell. I've always loved him. And, I mean, to be fair, I hated Josh Koscheck. I think everyone did at some point. Yeah. So I didn't blame him for that. Yeah, dude, I would love to see. I just wish they would bring Paul back after that whole thing. Dana was like, "No, he'll never fucking fight again." And then last night there was an after the bell hit that it was arguable either way, but middle of a combo and the bell rings and the final punch comes like maybe a second after the bell, but he's throwing a combo and connects and just fucking knocks. Who was it? It wasn't Cub. I don't know, man. This whole thing was crazy, but there was like a nasty after the punch bell last night that led to a DQ and it's this whole thing, but there'll never be a punch after the bell better than Daly's. That was tight. So, yeah, man. Wrap up another week, and next week or next time we record, I'll have a game. I'll have something fun to play. I didn't want to do movie trivia because we'd be here all day, but it could have been. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I'm trying to think the next time we'll record, if anything will have come out before then. I don't know. Whatever. Just play video games. Do video game trivia again.
Yeah.
But all right, man. Well, we'll come back in a couple of weeks, and hopefully, I wish there was a way to track how many people were listening. There's no way to do that, is there?
I don't think so. There's a little thing down here. It's like viewers, but I think that's like, I don't know. I don't know how this works.
We should just, if anyone has made it this far, go to Facebook, find our page, and let us know you're out there.
I wish there was like a live chat thing here, but it doesn't look like there is.
Nah. Just start streaming on something else with a live chat. Dude, we could just stream over Twitch.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about doing gameplay like that soon.
Dude, I've been doing it. It's funny. I opened up my Twitch account on my on my computer the other day, and it was like, you have one new notification. I was like, yeah. I clicked on it, and it was you. I was like, fuck. Yeah, I've been playing a ton of Fortnite, but so does everyone else in the world play Fortnite. So I gotta play something else to stream it.
I actually haven't played Fortnite yet.
Dude, like I said, if you download Battle Royale on PS4, it's free. We can play in groups, and then we could stream it to Twitch. So it would be playing with a couple of dicks, which is a great name if you think about it. Last thing. Did you see that Detroit got a release date for May 25th? We'll see, man. Oh, dude. Video games. I totally forgot. We're going to extend the podcast for 5 minutes.
All right.
Detroit got a release date. Some more Red Dead information leaked. But if you go back and you listen to our podcast where we were talking about the top 5 games we wanted this year, one of them on my list was a game called Yakuza 6. It's a Sega game.
Yeah.
Last week they put out a demo, right? Everyone's been waiting for this demo. We download it and you start playing it. And it turns out that instead of giving everyone a demo, they gave everyone the full game for free on accident.
Oh.
So people were able to play like I played way beyond the demo. I was like halfway through the game. And Sega was aware of it and they were like trying to fix it. And so people, the game doesn't come out for a month and a half, but the full game was out. People beat the entire game like in 3 days or people would like disconnect their PS4s from the internet so they couldn't be changed anymore. And dude, I got to play the full game for a couple full days, and then they went back and they like took the game from everyone. But it was amazing. It was the best couple of days of my life. If more video game companies would just give me free games, I'd play their games. Just
Yeah.
saying. So if any game developers happen to listen to this for some reason, if you want to send me a free game, just let me know. Send me. We should create a Flash game for the podcast, and it would just be side scroller where you had to jump over things, and then every now and then like little dick shaped candies would be on the track. And you pick them up, and once you got a couple of them, you powered up.
I like it.
And it would be called, what game are you playing? Playing a couple of dicks. It's fine. So I'm going to work on that. I got to learn to be a game developer, also a screenwriter, director, Twitch streamer, and horror movie icon all at the same time. I'll work on it. All right, man. Well, we should put some stuff on Facebook and get some Let's Plays together because that's what all the cool kids are doing.
All right.
Make it happen. So hopefully we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Should be.
All right, man. Catch you later.
Later. Okay, bye.